Fed expects to raise one more time this year, probably two or three times next year. I think that there's a problem in terms of asset prices. I think that rate of increase would not be able to be made because we've raised interest rates to a level where it's hurting asset prices. We have now a flat yield curve. We have, in other words, you can now get in a 2 to 5 year note, you can get about 3%. So we're in a situation right now that the Fed, I think, will have to look at asset prices before they look at economic activity. It's a difficult position because that stimulation that they have in the form of those tax cuts is a big stimulation into the capacity limitations as we have low slack, so that the economy itself will pressure them to raise rates. I think probably too much. I think we have a supply-demand problem for bonds that'll particularly come next year and the year after. In other words, because of that tax cut and the deficits, we'll have to sell a lot more bonds, and the United States itself can't absorb that quantity of bonds. So we're going to have to sell those bonds to investors in other countries. The risks are asymmetric on the downside because if we have a little bit overshoot in the inflation rate, you're going to be in a position where it's not going to be a problem. Who cares if you have 2.5% or something? It's not going to run out of control. But if you have a downturn, first in asset prices, and then you have a downturn in the economy, it's an asymmetric risk. So you raise that way, that's not good. I think the Federal Reserve should use more macro-prudential policies. Macro-prudential policies, what that means is it has a regulatory authority that can deal with certain bubbles as they're emerging to be more targeted than using interest rates as a whole.